Hello everyone, this is Super Comic Girl. I'm back with another video. So I do videos several times a week, sometimes several times a day. So yeah. So in my previous video, I talked about what I'm noticing in a lot of your independent comic book companies like Image Comics and all that, and what I am not seeing in more like mainstream comics like DC and Marvel. So DC and Marvel are the way they are because they were originally for teenagers and children, and so a lot of the stuff, a lot of the story ideas that they might have been able to do, they couldn't do because of what they were selling it to. Independent comic book companies like independent booksellers, independent all that, they are basically, and this is what I've noticed from just the covers of some of the independent comics, is they're more geared towards adults, so they have a lot more adult-oriented content, a lot more adult-oriented everything. So, for example, is issue number 11 of The Silver Coin that came out in June. And you have cannibalism, you have a cursed coin, you got people being pushed off of buildings, you got all these types of things. And by the way, if you guys think that I'm looking up, I'm actually not. I'm looking down, but when I do the video, it looks like I'm looking like up, so I'm going to kind of look like this, so it looks like I'm looking at you. So when you have these independent sellers, or independent companies, they will actually publish content that's more geared towards adults than for preteens and for children. This allows content creators or comic book creators to actually produce more graphic content than you would actually see in your typical, kid-friendly comic book. And even the covers tell you, yeah, you're not going to be reading something that's kiddie-friendly. And in all fairness, I think is good. I think that independent sellers, they sell more comic books than DC and Marvel does. That's just what I think. I remember when I went to a comic book shop to get Silver Coin Unlucky issue number 13, and by the time I got there, there was only 2 issues left of the comic book. I had to grab it before it was all gone, and then when I grabbed mine, there was no more. There was like 1 issue left. So the Silver Coin is popular. It sells a lot of copies because of the nature of what the Silver Coin is about. The Silver Coin is about a single artist or 2 that do a single issue, and they would like, okay, let's tell the story about this diner that is on the verge of basically going bankrupt, and let's have this waitress find the silver coin, and she wishes for more customers, and she gets more customers than she can handle, and they end up basically eating each other up. It's a simple story. I'm not saying it's a nice simple story, because there's nothing nice about eating your fellow diners. But it is a simple story, and it has that horror tinge to it that makes you go, "Oh my God, I wish I hadn't eaten anything." But yeah, I'm enjoying the independentness, or the independent writers and artists and all this type of stuff, that they can do things that you would never be allowed in someone's home. But anyways, but yeah, and it's all, for like mainstream DC and Marvel, it's all about, making sure that, you don't put anything in your comic book that is upsetting or whatever. people call it check boxes. I just call it creative suffocation. With places like Image, you can go and write a story and turn it into something that's horrendous, gory, disgusting, whatever. And people eat it up. People love it. And that's because they feel like that you're really seeing a lot of creativeness coming out of like the Silver Coin, or like I don't even remember the name of that one. But yes, it is. It's an entirely different animal when you talk about independent not booksellers, independent comic book creators. They are really pushing the envelope of what is considered, what I would consider to be socially acceptable. You would, 30 years ago, you would never ever see a comic book with had diners eating diners, or people being set on fire, or anything like that. Which shows how far we've gotten. I really think that the reason that comic books like the Silver Coin and that other one that I can't remember the name of does so well is because they're not afraid to shock the fuck out of people who read it. You know what you're getting when you see that inverted cross. You know what you're getting when you see a woman covered in blood. And I really think that, let's say DC no longer makes comic books. I think you're going to see a lot more people going into buying independent comics, because they know that the guy who ended DC is going to turn around and in Marvel, if that is where he's heading. But anyways, so I just kind of wanted to get on here and talk about that. I do like independent. I do like independent. Comic book distributors a lot better, especially like Dynamite. I've always liked Dynamite Comics. But yeah. So I'm going to end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you wish to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. So until next time, nerds, read on. Bye.